Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today is another update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows series. So in this project I'm trying to hit pan in 5 eyeshadows each month, and so far I think I could always do that. So I would say let's hop right into the update, and I'm going to show you if I could also do that in the last round. So let's start with these beauties here. As you can see, it was a bit of a crazy round this time because I've had 4 of my Anastasia palettes in the project and also 4 pink eyeshadows. So I think let's start with the one eyeshadow that wasn't pink, and then I'm going to show you all the other ones together. So the one eyeshadow that wasn't a matte pink eyeshadow was in my Carly Bible palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And it was this shade here, Mandala. And as you can see, I was able to hit pan in it. It's a beautiful duochrome. It's a bit lackluster, so it's not my favorite, but I feel like it's very pretty for an everyday look if you don't want a very intense duochrome. And also I do love using it on my lower lash line, so I feel like that's the perfect way of using it, and it's so beautiful. I love this whole palette. It's such a pretty one. I'm so glad that I have my first pan in this palette. So this is one of the youngest palettes in my collection, and it's one of the youngest ones in this project, so I'm glad to have the first pan in this palette. I'm just trying to fit all the other ones on the table. I think, yeah, that's the way to go. Okay, so as you can see, this is the DUPES palette by Julius. This is the Rivera Palette, Modern Renaissance, and Sultry by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And the shades I've been working on were all pink. So the first one is this one here, and as you can see, I've hit pan. This one was the first one because I've already had the hugest dip in this one, so it was very easy. And then the next one is this one here from the Rivera Palette. I hope that you can see it. I did hit pan in it. It's the shade Monte Carlo, a very beautiful pink. It's a beautiful color. And then in the Modern Renaissance, it was Venetian Red, and as you can see, I have a huge pan in it. I love this eyeshadow. It was also very easy to hit pan because I've had a huge dip in it going on already because I've used it so much before. And then in this palette here, this was the, I would say, biggest challenge because it was this shade here. It's called Bloom, and I barely touched it before. I maybe have used it once or twice, but not more. So it was the hardest one, but I have to say the shade is so beautiful that it was the most fun to use it because I fell hard in love with this eyeshadow. Something about this color is just so beautiful and so perfect for me. So it was so beautiful. I'm going to show you a close-up of this one here. It's such a pretty palette overall. Then here you can see the Modern Renaissance palette with Venetian Red that I hit pan in. Another one of my favorites. So glad that I have so much pans in this palette. I just love this palette so much. I would love to have pan in every eyeshadow in this palette. Then here's the Rivera palette. As you can see, the pan in Monte Carlo is quite small. It's a beautiful shade, but it's just not a pink that I reach into a lot. So it was quite a challenge to use it, but I'm glad that I could hit pan. And as you can see, I did hit a bonus pan here. It's in the shade Mediterranean, and it's this beautiful blue, and it's so beautiful. I loved using it. I captured the look where I used it. I think I used it together with Soul from my Norvina palette, and I'm going to show you the look when I show you all the looks that I've created with these beautiful pink eyeshadows and all the other ones I used in this round. And then the last one is my Julius palette and the shade Creme here. So it was very easy to use this one. But I have to say, I feel like this eyeshadow palette is getting a bit old because I know that when I have used this one the last time, which is, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, and I filmed a tutorial with this palette for my YouTube channel, and it was a lot more pigmented and it was very sheer now when I used it, and I really cannot remember it being this sheer. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe this palette is really getting old. Maybe I should hurry with using it a bit more, but maybe I don't know, maybe I have to declutter it soon because I feel like this eyeshadow really isn't doing a lot anymore. So I don't know if I want to keep it around, but I will try this palette a bit more in the next weeks or so. And I'm not going to declutter it, soon, but maybe, I don't know. I just have to see how this unfolds in the future. But yeah, I will have an eye on this palette to see if all the eyeshadows are performing like this one or if this one is the only one. So we will see, but I just wanted to mention it. Now I'm just going to show you the looks now that I've created with all these beautiful pinky eyeshadows. I wanted to capture a look with each of the eyeshadows in this project, and I think I could do that. So as you can see, they were all lovely pink, and I have to say, I really don't like pink eyeshadow in general, and I would never reach for it if I wouldn't be forced to, like in a project like this one. But I did really enjoy using the pinks because it was so different than what I normally do, and I really did like that. And I also did like the pop of brightness that it brought to the looks, and yes, I really enjoyed it. I'm so happy for this project, for showing me things like that all the time, because it brings so much joy to playing with my makeup and to enjoying what I have. So in the next round, I want to do something different. I think for the next round, I want to choose the eyeshadows I want to work on because, we're close to the end of the year and I really want to have some banger progress. So I feel like I want to choose the eyeshadows that I know I can hit pan in maybe a bit faster, or where I know that, I've had 5 eyeshadows in this round, but I think if I choose what I work on in the next round, I can maybe hit pan in 7 eyeshadows, and that would be awesome. So it's always good to change things up in a project like this, so just that you don't get bored or, that you don't hate the project. So I just want to change it up a bit this time around, and we will see. At first I thought that I want to work on the Modern Renaissance palette, but I think all the eyeshadows that are left in here are just too hard for me to hit pan in now. So they are all very warm toned, and I think I just can't do it in the next round. Okay, so I would love to continue using this one, but I think it's just too hard to work on this palette because there are only the warm tones left, and I just can't do it. So no, I just can't do it. I love this palette, but that's not the way to go. So I think the first palette I want to work on is my Riviera palette. I know it's not really the time for this palette because, it's autumn, but I feel like I can hit pan in Yacht, Seychelles, and in Seaside pretty soon, so it would be so awesome to have 3 more pans in this palette. And I just love this palette and these eyeshadows. So I feel like this will be a great one to have some more pans in, and then maybe I can also hit pan in the coral here in Coastline. So we will see, but these 3 here will be in the project. I'm going to swatch them next, but I want to show you the other palette first. So the next palette I want to work on is my Avocado Toast palette by BH Cosmetics, because I feel like I want to have some green in my life at the moment. And in here are so many beautiful shades, and I have only hit pan in one of them so far. So I feel like I want to add some more pan. So the first one I want to hit pan in is Avocado. It's this one here. Then I think lemon pepper. Then green juice. So metallics are just easier to hit pan in, so that's why I'm choosing them. And then maybe I can hit pan in ripe or in superfood, but I'm not sure if I can do it. But I want to hit pan in one of the green mattes here, and then in D3 metallic. So we have 4 eyeshadows from this palette and 3 from the other one, and then we will see how much progress we can make. But I feel like it's way easier to work on less palettes, because it's just easier to reach into a palette, into more eyeshadows from one palette than to have, because I have to have them all sitting on my vanity to use them, and it's just easier to have a little less amount of palettes on my vanity at the moment. So this is what we are going to do in the next round. I'm just going to swatch them for you. So these 2 are the palettes I'm going to work on in the next round, and I'm just starting to swatching here. Avocado, lemon pepper, green juice, and ripe. So these are the first 4 eyeshadows here, And then I'm also going to swatch D3 for you. So as you can see, a quite colorful round this time. That's the 7 eyeshadows I'm going to work on, and maybe I can hit a bonus pan in Coastline here. But these are the ones that I'm going to work on, and these are the 2 palettes I'm going to work on. So I'm excited for the next round. Let's see. I feel like this palette really needs a lot more pans. One isn't enough. And in this one here, I would love to have pan in every pan in this palette here. So we will see. We will see. I hope that I can do that. I hope that I can update you one more time and then have a finale at the end of the year. And so my goal is to update you in around 3 weeks so that we can do it. And I hope that you did enjoy this video. Let me know down below how it's going with your projects. Thank you all so much for watching. I wish you all a beautiful day.